much for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate seeing all of your faces here, be they masked or any other way. I'm very happy to see you here. Thank you for complying with our mask policy. I know that's not the most exciting way to see a show, but it is the way that we can do it right now safely. For over a year we were closed, and I'm so happy we're back here presenting live music again to all of you. And without you, none of this would be possible, so thanks so much for being here. Also, thank you again for complying with our vaccination policy. This has now become a standard practice in the performing arts industry, and when we polled our audience via our email polling system, it came back over 90% in favor of this policy, which all of you clearly are in favor of as well, since you're here tonight to hear this wonderful show. By the way, my name is John Thomas. I'm the creative director here at the Mainstay. It's my responsibility to make sure we have great music here on the stage every week, and this week is no exception. But I'd like to tell you about a couple of things coming up. Next Saturday evening, if you're a fan of bluegrass, this is exactly where you want to be. Danny Paisley and the Southern Grass, one of the most award-winning bluegrass groups in the Mid-Atlantic, is going to be here. We're already about halfway sold out for that show, so if you want to be here for that show next week, please get your ticket now, because it's going to be really tight. We have a few less seats in the room than we normally do, so that we can create this space here so that our performers can perform with their faces uncovered, so you can get the full effect of their performance. So yeah, we have a few less seats than we normally do, so if you want to get tickets for that Danny Paisley show, please check it out. It's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing show. Following that, we're going to close out the month of September with Mainstay Monday. Any Mainstay Monday fans in the house here tonight? Yeah. So Joe Holt, he's our in-house pianist, artist affiliate, and Joe can do anything under the sun musically, but he's really great at bringing in different kinds of talent to this stage, whether they're horn players or vocalists or guitar players. We even had a ballet dancer up here one night, and he's invited local actress and comedian Jen Friedman to the stage on Monday, September 27th. Yeah, we got some Jen Friedman fans in the house. So as you know, if you come to that show with Joe and Jen on Monday the 27th, that's not going to be just a fun, pleasant evening of music. It's going to be hilarious. Everybody knows that Jen will have you rolling in the aisles, so make sure you come out to that show. We are dark the first week of October, and then we are coming back big on October 9th with Fall Fest, Rock Hall Fall Fest. You do not want to miss that. We've got, I believe he's in the house tonight, Mr. Philip Dutton. Philip Dutton and the Alligators are going to be our headline show, hopefully on our brand new stage out back, for that night. So make sure you get your tickets for that now. Also performing that day, we'll have Mainstay board member, who is also a world-class trumpet player, Dave Robinson, and his jazz pals going to be performing that day. A great young jazz fusion group out of Baltimore called Ian Trusheim and his syndicate, they're going to be here. A group out of Easton called Rosewood, a really interesting folk rock group. And, I'm forgetting somebody.
Catonsville Steel Drum Band.
Catonsville Steel Drum Band. You do not want to miss these really talented high school steel drum players. They're a rock hall tradition. And there is going to be a tribute to Tom McHugh happening during Fall Fest that day.
And the kazoo player band
The
from
kazoo
Smith
player.
Elementary
The
School.
kazoo band from, sorry, thank you, Deborah, for reminding me.
They can't forget the little kazoos.
And that reminds me, the other thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to thank everybody that supports the Mainstay, whether they're audience members or volunteers, in particular Mainstay board members, of which Deborah Woodruff-Capper is one of our important board members. Do we have any other board members in the house tonight? I believe we have Barbara Parker, one of our newest board members here in the house tonight. Yes? Barbara is leading up our volunteer initiative. So if you have any interest in volunteering at the Mainstay, if you have talents behind the bar, that would be very useful. We like that. We also we'd love to have some people come help us out with the box office. We have some vacancies for people who might be interested in working either behind the soundboard or working at our streaming desk, because we are live streaming the first set of every show for free now. So if you're home and you're not feeling well, you don't feel like coming out to a show, but you don't want to miss something, you can always see the first set of every show live streamed on our YouTube page. So make stream. Check that out.
Is that Danny who's doing this?
Danny is live. He's our live streaming tech. Danny is live streaming back there right now as we speak. So thank you, Danny. The other group of people I would really like to thank tonight is our Charlie Bird Society members. Any Charlie Bird Society members in the house tonight? Yes. All right, thank you so much. If you don't know about the Charlie Bird Society, this is a very special group of individuals that get together and do something that is really, really, truly special. They give us lots of money. Actually, they give us, and I say that sort of jokingly, but that's very important. You know, we get grant money from the state, we get grant money from the county, but really, without the donations of people like the Charlie Bird Society and other people who give us small donations, $5, $10 here and there, that's what helps us do what we do here at the Mainstay. So if you would like to join the Charlie Bird Society, or if you would like to find a way to volunteer, please speak to myself or any one of our board members at the break. We really do appreciate your interest and your help. Okay. So now that's enough marketing.
Yes.
What I want to do right now is I want to talk about our artists tonight. So I became familiar with our artists tonight. A fellow presenter that I know in Baltimore, the gentleman who runs Andi Music. If you're ever in Baltimore and you want to have a very similar sort of concert experience to what you're having here tonight, you want to check out Andi Music. They have great classical music, great jazz music, any kind of music you want to check out. And Henry Wong, who runs Andi Music, called me and he said, I know that you're looking for people to do streaming concerts at the Mainstay. I really think you need to have this person. And I said, okay. So I checked him out. And I went to the website and I listened to some music and I watched some videos and I thought, yeah, we need to have this person come to the Mainstay because I think this person fits really well with what we do. So our performer tonight is Ellen Cherry. She's been Emmy nominated for her work in songwriting. She has some wonderful records over here that you definitely want to take home with you tonight. So make sure at the break you go check out the merch table. But we're in for a really, really excellent concert experience tonight. Let's please welcome Ellen Cherry to the stage.
Hello. I brought my cell phone up on stage because I was going to take a picture of all of y'all, but you're dark. And it's going to be a terrible picture. So you know what I'm going to do is like remove this terrible thing. Put it under there. I haven't performed in front of a live audience since February 22nd, 2020. So this is really... I am very glad too. I'm probably going to be a little emotional. Make sure I'm plugged in correctly. It's been a while since I've done this. Maybe. Uh-oh. I'm already having tech problems. Excuse me, I'm going to ask my guitar tech, Ellen Cherry, to figure this out because we are going to have an amazing show and we're going to start it with an in-tune guitar. Hold on. Feel free. Turn this off. Turn this back on. Try another thing. There we go. Success. What a good tech. Yay! Yeah, she's amazing. Just like all of us, sometimes we just need a little bit of like a reset, right? I know that a lot of this last year and a half has been being concerned about breathing. But I'd like to start tonight. I thought really deeply about how I was going to start the show with all of y'all tonight, and I wanted to start it by just, it doesn't have to be a deep breath, but I just want to take a breath with everyone in the room for a second. Because we're here, still. And I remember thinking at the beginning of this misadventure that we've had for the last year and a half that the
truly the only thing that all of us needed to do was survive. And so breathing with you is a way of celebrating that.
Take care of each other.
And taking care of each other. Exactly. So let me take care of you for the next 2 hours with some songs and some stories.
Okay.
238,900 miles away. It was the year of our Lord, 1968. And I'm willing to bet with a cosmic sigh we encourage God to avert his eyes when we drop the bomb in 45. It's not fair. I wasn't here to apologize. I need to clear all this space trash circling around my head and let in the heat of a star that's long been dead. To bring down these thoughts that are satellites, confounding my sense of wrong and right, and proving once again I'll dissatisfy. That's my fault. Like the faithful, I was petrified. I've been rooted right here on the planet. For ages I've prayed to the sun to forgive and forget and remove the regret of the battle hymns still on our tongues, and grant us another whole day just to breathe and to run. I've been weightless and thoughtless and busy with nothing. That's how I spend my days, assuming my debts can be paid by the words on the page, disguising my faults with a charming sound. Well, that's a trick that turns trite into profound. Maybe God is a player who won't never lay her cards down. That's a joke, but I don't feel like laughing now. I have cleared the clouds from my eyes, and I cannot be surprised that no matter how hard I have studied and yearned, I see we remain unconcerned. Politely we say, no thank you, we'd rather burn. You see, it was luck, this accidental atomic grandeur. It's not too late on this stage, there's no room amateurs. Thank you. That's a good reaction. I'm really glad to have the first song done because I've been performing in front of audiences for the last 26 years, and to have a year and a half break and to not have the essential element of the audience in that chemistry experiment is very unnerving and strange. And so it was overwhelming to be inside that song, which is about timelessness and the atomic nature of things, and also a call to action, which all of you have taken tonight because you took a risk in being in here emotionally with me on this ride. And don't worry, you're in good hands. I take care of you. I got you. So the next I'm going to sing is about one of my favorite things to do for myself, which is to forgive. And I'd like to bring onto the stage my friend Dan Ryan. He's going to play guitar with me, and in just a few minutes, you're going to see why he's on stage. Not see, you're going to hear, actually, and see. So one of the hardest people to forgive that I've noticed in my life is myself. I'm very easy to forgive others, but I hold a grudge against myself. And so I've been in a practice of learning about codependency and being in recovery from that. And every day when I wake up, the first thing I see is a picture of me from 1981. I was 6 years old, and I look at that little girl and I think, I'm gonna be nice to her today because she's still in here somewhere. And although this is a song that was originally written about a love song, it's all about forgiveness. Maybe I could spend 2 years feeling sorry for myself. Maybe I could shift the blame to someone else. Maybe I could give my love away. I give it all for free. Maybe I'll forget again to save some of it for me. First I filled my own 2 hands with all my lonely tears, and then I dug a canyon, I filled it up with years, and after all that time, the only thing I learned was how to set love on fire and how to watch it burn. So close your eyes, take my hands, hear these words, understand. It's no lie, there's no plan, fly like birds, 'cause we can. Maybe you were wondering, or maybe you might know, how hard it was for me to stay, how hard it was to go. Remember when you said nothing, that came so easily. Maybe you had changed the lock, maybe I lost my key. Close your eyes, take my hands, hear these words, understand. It's no lie, there's no plan, fly like birds, 'cause we can. 2 years, never standing still. Maybe you'll forgive me soon, maybe you never will. Right? I'm so glad Dan is with me. We've been rehearsing all summer, and he's been playing some shows, but it was just like, I just knew that I did not want to be on stage alone. And also just to hear this special sound that makes me, water is a very big part of my life. In fact, I encourage everyone to drink some form of liquid tonight. But when I was singing that song just now, I felt the presence of water, sort of aurally. And I'm wondering if anybody else felt that way too. We're such a small group, we can talk about it like we're sharing our emotions, right? I felt like I was on a wave of forgiveness. So this next song is with a theme. I tried to construct a set where we would go on this journey. So we started with outer space and the atomic grandeur, and also an encouraging word that we're on this stage, we're at this moment in time where we cannot wait, we cannot be amateurish about our actions, we have to be deliberate and intentional, we have to think about future generations, we're not the only ones here, we all know that. And then part of that is like forgiving ourselves for being human and making mistakes. And this song is definitely about being confused and also trying to figure out how to forgive another person too. And yeah, this one's called Queen of Spades. Light a candle for the love we lost and the love we threw away. I was crackling like a wire crossed on a dark and windy day, thinking about the things I said and all I didn't say. Even though it doesn't matter, write a letter that I'll never send to an address that never changed. Can we tell a new love story with the words we rearrange? I promise I can learn to bend just like I learned to stay the same. Even though I know it doesn't matter, we built a house of cards with a losing hand. Another year has closed its eyes, my days spent playing games. took that cape off. This key is the same as it was before. So something happened to me 8 years ago. In 2013, I was driving down Highway 380 in Denton, Texas, coming home from a house show, and I was hit from behind by a drunk driver. And my Honda Fit flipped 3 times and skidded into a ditch. I broke a collarbone, and I was diagnosed later with a wicked case of PTSD. So I've spent the last 8 years understanding recovery, and also this may resonate with some people, but having lived experience with trauma and chronic pain has actually helped me grow, and I am very, very grateful for this experience. It may sound strange, but sometimes the painful things in our lives can teach us really well. It's really hard to learn that lesson when you're in it. It takes a long time, and I think one of the things that I learned the most in the last 8 years is to be gentle with myself and other people, and remember that we deserve to take time to heal, including this global trauma that we are all experiencing. We don't have to process that by next week. We can take our time processing what this means for all of us on an individual and community level. And I want us to. Primarily because I think that when people want to talk about grieving, they think that grieving is all sad. But I think there's a lot of joy in grief, actually, because it's about acceptance. And this song is about acceptance. It's called Everything Is Gone From Me. And it's one of the last things that Virginia Woolf wrote in a letter to her husband. And I had an experience a couple of years ago because of PTSD. My mother, she's said, please don't say these words in concert anymore. It's depressing. And I love my mother, and I understand what she means because she doesn't want me to feel sad, and I don't feel sad. But I had a thing called suicidal ideation. And when I think about that experience, I'm also grateful for that because I learned from it. And I wrote this song because of that experience. And in the 3 years I've been singing it, I realized that it's actually my higher power talking to me through the song. So guess what? On stage tonight, you're going to witness the universal hum using me as a tool to deliver a message to you. I hope you're okay with that. Do I have everyone's consent to deliver a divine message? Okay, good. I don't know if that's what you signed up for, but that's what you're getting. I thought this was me talking to other people, but I realized it was somebody else talking to me. Now that's what I regret. There is no cause to worry, no, there is no need to cry. I have told you many stories, some of them are lies, to sing you something sweetly that you might not want to hear. And I could burn like wildfire, I could be the smoke that clears. Thank you. The last time I had that thought was July 22nd, 2017, and I was sitting in one of my favorite places that you might know. In fact, it's a very special place to another person who's special to me here, my friend Tom. It's a place, magical place called Chincoteague, Virginia. I love that. I go there twice, 3 times a year. I go down for day trips. I've been there when it was snowing in the cold of February. It's just a magical place, walking on the wildlife refuge there. I've had a lot of like really important conversations with myself on that beach. Picked up shells, put them down in that kind of meditative place. On that morning that I had that last thought, and I knew that it was a very terrible thought, and I was at the ocean's edge, and something pulled me back from it, and I walked away, and I was able to visit that space again. And I was thinking about what it is that causes us to change our minds. And when I think about what happened with me after the car wreck was that I was shrouded in kind of a black room. And when you're in a dark room, it's really hard to figure out where the door is. And so you might be wandering around, like, you've been in a room in your house, and the lights are off, and you're like stumbling around, and you bump into things, you bruise your leg, and you're just trying to look for the light switch. And I realized that that's really what brings somebody like me out of a dark place, is just this one tiny spark of light that comes into a dark room and illuminates where the door is, or where the light switch is. And that little spark can be a television show, it can be a song, it can be a call from a friend, it can be a poem you read, it can be having a delicious meal, it can be any of those things. And it was several of those things for me. And so I wrote this song about that one spark that comes into this room and lights it up and makes you realize that your perception of the room is completely false. So I go into every room now assuming that I'm wrong. It's a very humbling experience. Pain, pain, go away, come again no other day. Same, same, it's all the same, I don't know no other way. Flames, flames, it burns down, all the dreams die in this town. One word, make your mark, all you need is just one spark. One spark, one spark, find your way out of the dark. One spark, find your way out of the dark. Tear stain on my face, you can see I can't erase. Hold hands, hold space, go on now but for the grace. Pray, pray, keep us here, safe inside our atmosphere. Hey you there in the dark, all you need is just one spark. One spark, one spark, find your way out of the dark. One spark, find my way out of the dark. Thank you. I want to tell you about a very special item that was in my life and is in my life again. It's such a fascinating journey. So in this car wreck, I was driving. I had sold my 1992 Honda Accord and bought this amazing vehicle. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called a Honda Fit. Are you familiar with Doctor Who? You know the spaceship that Doctor Who flies around in? It's called the TARDIS. If you don't know the show, it's a super nerdy, awesome sci-fi show about a Time Lord. I'm not going to go deeply into it, but we can talk about it after the show if you want. But the TARDIS looks like a blue British police box, but you walk into it and it's a massive spaceship. That's exactly what the Honda Fit is. It's a little tiny car, but when you go into it, it's like very spacious. My father is 6.5 feet tall and he can sit in this car. It's not a luxury vehicle. You do feel the road when you drive it. But I have to tell you that if you were to see what this car wreck did to the Honda Fit, you would be amazed at the engineering that went into this vehicle that saved my life. So when I started to be able to process this car wreck, one of my first thoughts was, oh, all the people that worked on my car were part of a life-saving device. And I'm talking about the people who like smelted the steel, the people who vulcanized the rubber, the engineers who designed the car, the person who picked the Passionberry Pearl paint that attracted me to it, the person who sold me the car, the person who helped me finance the car, like all of these crazy threads of thousands and thousands of people from across the world that combined into one single bit of technology that when it was needed most performed perfectly and saved both me and my passenger's life. And when I think about that, it just made me feel so incredibly connected to these strangers. So if you look at your VIN number on your car, on the 9th character, you can find the factory where your car was assembled. And I encourage you to do that, because it might make you feel connected to the fact that there's somebody in a factory who assembled your car, who got up in the morning, ate their breakfast, and went and did their job so well that they created something that could possibly save your life. And at a minimum, gets you to work, gets you to the store, delivers your grandchildren to you, delivers you to your family members, takes you to a music show. You know, we're so connected. And so the place where my car was assembled is a town in Japan called Hamamatsu. I did a deep dive into Hamamatsu, and found that in 1945, the Allies bombed the city 6 times, or we dropped 6 bombs on the city, and yet 63 years later, our relationship with that country has healed so that we are now in commerce, and those people are part of a life-saving device that saved this person's life, and is one of the reasons that I'm here with you today. So I wrote a thank you note, because my mom told me to write thank you notes. This is my thank you note to the people of Hamamatsu and the factory workers at the Honda factory in Japan who assembled my car. And you'll notice the first line has the word spark in it. Interesting. A tiny spark in a machine helps me glide straight towards a dream. To see the world before it disappears. A moving part, interlocked, breaking glass and a ticking clock. A universe grinding at its gears. I wind it back as far as I can. A simple truth in a worker's hands. Cradled me in chaos, saved me from the dark. I may never know you. I love your beating heart. A golden thread sewn through time made our lives so intertwined. Stardust melted into steel. In 45 we dropped our bombs, and now it seems that we get along. Who am I to break that wheel? It takes so long to find the proof, to wind it back to a simple truth. You cradled me in chaos, saved me from the dark. I may never know you. I love your beating heart. simple truth. You cradled me in chaos, saved me from the dark. I may never know you. I wind it back as far as I can. A simple truth in a worker's hands. Cradled me in chaos, saved me from the dark. I may never know you. I love your beating heart. I may never know you. I love your beating heart. I may never know you. I love your beating heart. Ah, thanks. Now a little bit of a left turn. When I was 30, not that long ago, but a little bit of a time ago, longer than I think, and it keeps getting longer every year. But when I was 30, I was pretty sure I knew everything there was to know about love. Right? Usually people laugh when I say that. Because of course, at 30, you know everything.
No, that happens at 13.
Right? Don't we know more when we're younger? And know it better and more fluidly? But I was pretty convinced. And I've been singing this song for the last 16 years. I wrote the song when I was 30. And it's the thing that's fascinating to me about having been fortunate enough to experience love in this life is that I always think that I've reached like the depth of it, like I've gone really deep with love, and then there's always a level below that that's even deeper and amazing. I feel really fortunate. I also feel really fortunate that we live in an age where I grew up with like Disney films, and I thought that love was supposed to be experienced like one way. And now we have all of these love stories, and no one gets excluded from having love stories. And I think that's really important story, like important narrative, is that, you know, not everybody gets to experience romantic love, but can't the love between friends be just as important as can't you have a lifelong love affair with your friend? And isn't that just as important? I think so. And I'm the one with the mic, so. But this is a romantic love song about my friends. Just kidding. So you can see right through a single pane of glass. It separates the vows, the halves. It does not sever me from you. I put a seal upon my lips. That's a promise to be true. Reminder as a dew and it preserves clues and other cues. And that kiss I saved for you. It's a knot that won't untie. A truth that doesn't lie. A tiny death we shared exactly the same time. It brought us back to life. I've got a callus on my hand. Oh, you know the work I've done. An honest mark, you see, and it protects the very heart of me and all the battles I have won. It's skin that will not break, a solemn sleep that cannot wake, an incandescence that never loses light. I hope to dream of you tonight. I hope to dream of you tonight. Dan Ryan. I wear a window on my heart. I wear a window on my heart. I wear a window on my heart. I wear a window. I wear a window on my heart, so you can see right through. Single pane of glass that separates the valves, the halves. It does not sever me from you. Dan, you're so good. So, as John mentioned, there is merch on the table. About 4 years ago, I realized I didn't want to make CDs anymore because new cars didn't even have CD players in them anymore. So I thought, I can see the future. CDs are out. Streaming isn't. I'm just going to go ahead and accept. So I stopped producing CDs. The last CD that I produced was a project in 2016 called Portraits. I have no copies of that left. What I do, a friend of mine 2 weeks ago has been hoarding these, I don't know, since 2013. I co-produced with my friend Sandy a Pink Floyd tribute concert in Baltimore. We reimagined Dark Side of the Moon for the 40th anniversary. We recorded over 25 musicians in the studio with genres ranging from bluegrass to electronica to musical theater, jazz, singer-songwriter, rock and roll. We reinterpreted that album. So if you really like Pink Floyd, you're going to love this record. Even if you don't like Pink Floyd, just take the record, because I don't want the CDs anymore. And I also want people who would like them. The artwork on them is beautiful. I did art directed, and Sylvia Ortiz made the entire project was based in Baltimore. The only thing we didn't get done there, unfortunately, was printing it. But it was recorded in Baltimore. It's all Baltimore musicians. It was mixed in Baltimore. The artist who made our beautiful artwork was in Baltimore, and we threw a concert for 1,000 people at Goucher in 2013 with 50 musicians on stage, and I felt like a goddess. Because I was the boss. And I was like, you go there and you sing this and you stand there, and yes, those shoes are perfect. It was a super fun, wonderful evening. The CDs are free. If you want to support, you could certainly shove some cash in that little plastic thing that says pay what you want, and I will put out a sign that also has my Venmo on it, which is just simply at Ellen Cherry Sings. You can send us money, that's fine. But honestly, please just take them. I would love for those CDs to go and be listened to, and know that you are listening to Baltimore. I've lived there for 21 years. I'm from Texas originally, as you can tell from my big bangs and my deep Texas twang. But I am a Baltimorean now, and I've loved that city for a long time now. It's one of my favorite places. All right. I want to thank both Danny and Clark, who are running our tech tonight. So let's give them a round of applause. So in 2001, I got robbed in Brooklyn, and they stole my 1981 Guild Jumbo. Yeah, I know, right? Bummer. But I took the money from my insurance, and I bought this 1975 Guild Jumbo, which is a superior instrument. So, basically, it always works out. It was traumatizing to get robbed, especially to lose several guitars and a bunch of band gear. But again, it worked out fine, and I got this guitar, which was actually born the same year that I am, and I love the sound of it because it's so big, and like me and every woman in my family, it has nice wide hips. This is the wide hip guitar, and she celebrates it. You can see her in her full glory here. I wrote the song in a flash. In 2014, I was granted a residency at the studios of Key West in Florida. And so I went down. I'd already been to Florida, so I didn't need to wander around Key West. I was ready to dive into work. I had 30 days to write as many songs as possible. So the first day I got there, I was like, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Has anyone ever been to Key West? Yeah. So you know that they serve a coffee there called Café con Leche, right? It's 5 cups of coffee in 1 cup of coffee. So, exactly, thank you. So I was like, what happens if I drink 2? I'll tell you what happens. You are awake for 24 hours, and you write songs. I wrote the song in 30 minutes on that very first night, and I basically slept for 3 days after that. This one's called The Locksmith. Let the breeze blow through this shotgun house. Let my mind touch on the thought words I'm not allowed. Give me the whole day to sit and think, then fix me with a drink and a kiss by the kitchen sink. I've been drinking coffee like a factory horse, pulling a heavy cart of words around, keeping my eyes north on that guiding star, dreaming in his bed while he plays and sings with me in his head. And I spent a whole night's sleep picking up the lock of this mystery. Forgive me, I've lost my key. I empty pockets and I'm searching every drawer, stumbling through the neighborhood, I'm trying every door. Draw me a map to our old address. I wanna lay down on that dirty floor and confess, 'cause my heart can't lie to me. It says contrary to belief, the truth won't set you free. Maybe I should close the windows or drop the shades. Then I can wish and hope and dream the world away. Strip the memories from the walls with turpentine. Deadbolt that open door swinging in my mind. 'Cause I spent a whole night's sleep picking up the lock of this mystery. Forgive me. Forgive me. I've lost my key. Thank you.
That was really good. That was really good.
Thank you. I feel like when I look at the sort of like all the songs I've written over the last 2.5 decades, like that one to me feels like my most Joni Mitchell song. I'm very influenced by Joni, and like I'm not trying to compare myself to her. Please, I know we have the first set going live. If she somehow magically sees this, she's a mentor to me. But when I play that song, I feel like her free spirit kind of flowing through me. So yeah, thanks. I'm really glad you like that one. So we're gonna play one more, and then we're gonna take a break for you to get up, wander about, maybe grab some more of those delicious brownies, sing a little Becky. I want to thank Becky for working in the bar, for being a part of this mainstay, for like everything that she does. Right? And I want to thank John, the creative director, who, as he said, found me through Henry and took a chance last summer. He literally took a chance on me, and I really appreciate him also taking a chance tonight to bring us back live. So thank you to John as well. I know you all are familiar with the Greek myth about Orpheus and Eurydice, right? Okay, good. If you're not, I'll give you a synopsis. In the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, they are getting married, and Eurydice is always just described with 2 or 3 words about her beauty. They don't ever talk about if she's good at math, if she can play sports. It's only about how beautiful she is. Orpheus is like the leader of men, and he has golden curls, and he's like the best lute player. He's basically the Dan Ryan of the Greek world on the lute. Everyone's just like, oh, Orpheus, he's so amazing, right? Orpheus this, he plays football, he like will do your taxes for free, and like knows how TurboTax works, and just Orpheus is like the dude. Okay, we get it, Orpheus. They fall in love. They get married. And of course, like all good stories, she's being chased by another man on her wedding day. Because you can't just relax and marry like the best dude in the world. So she's running through the forest, she accidentally steps into a nest of vipers and is instantly killed and taken to the underworld, which is the place where the souls pass through before they go to the afterlife. There's 5 rivers, there's all these tasks you gotta do, there's checklists, I mean there's lots of runs to the grocery store, it's like insane down there. Like, I'm telling you, like, just we could talk all night about the river Lethe, which is the river of forgetting, and like how much you're supposed to drink or not drink or whatever. So Eurydice is in the underworld. She's under the care of Hades. And again, nobody knows anything about what's going on with Eurydice because she's just sitting there being pretty in the underworld. Orpheus is distraught. And the whole story about Orpheus and Eurydice is his great love. He gets himself killed so he can go to the underworld and find her. He negotiates with Hades. And Hades says, you can have Eurydice back if you walk up these stairs and you don't look behind you. You will hear her footsteps, but you have to trust that she's following you. They walk up the stairs, and Orpheus gets to the very top. He's almost about to exit the cave onto the surface of the earth, and he stops hearing her footsteps. So he turns around, and Eurydice disappears back into the underworld because he's betrayed the promise. So Orpheus, I don't really care what happens to Orpheus after that, like if he goes into finance or like buys a car dealership or whatever. Like Orpheus can go on his own journey. I was fascinated by what happens to Eurydice in the underworld. I thought about her there. To be taken to the underworld, to be taken to hell in a violent trauma, and what that must feel like. And I mentioned earlier that I was in a really violent car wreck. That's what it felt like to me. Like I was suddenly Eurydice in the underworld. And I wanted to explain to people that sometimes you have to just linger in the underworld. And you have to figure out like, well, where do I order pizza from here in the underworld? Can I buy a house or do I rent an apartment? Do they have gel foam beds? Because I really liked my old bed on Earth. Can I get that here? And how to make the underworld a comfortable place so that eventually I would get strong enough to find the stairs myself and walk myself out of the underworld. So I spent the last couple of years making this project called Recovering Eurydice. And if you're interested in seeing a video that I made of the songs that came out of that, just send me an email. You can find me on Facebook. My email address is ellencherrymusic@gmail.com, and I will send you the private link to the YouTube show. It's about 40 minutes long. There's a couple of songs that you've heard tonight on that show. I'd love to share it with you. So just send me a message, and I'll share it with you. But I think about Eurydice there in the underworld and how she felt. And so when I started that project, this was the first song that came out. And we're going to play the song, and then we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to tell you the second set is where all the A game is happening. You've just been watching the B game right now. This is just the warm-up. The second set is where it's at, so please stick around. And we got the song that started it all. Here we go. This one's called Eurydice. I've been hanging on in the bottom of hell by the skin of these pretty white teeth and a fingernail. Is that a cavern wall, the stairs to heaven, or wishing well? If you were looking through these tired eyes, you could hardly tell. Well, I heard a promise and I made one to myself. Oh well. I sang a long sad note with each step down. just in case you had the time to follow me around. I crossed the river past the dog onto hallowed ground. But when I turned, the walls had swallowed all my sounds. So I begged the muse to stay, but I see she had flown. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. I should have known. I made a choice to shut my mouth and send my hopes by first class roads to the underground. I poisoned roots, sowed the seeds of doubt. I stopped the rain. I sparked a fire that I thought I could keep aflame. And I crushed the bones of lies I've told under my feet. I couldn't speak. I said it once, there is no reason to repeat. I've been hanging on in the bottom of hell by the skin of these pretty white teeth and a fingernail. I write it down, you eat it up, we get along. What were we thinking of? I write it down, you eat it up, we get along. We called it love. We called it love. We called it love. We called it love. This feels so much better than I thought it was going to feel. I thought it was going to feel good, but I don't think it was going to feel this good. So thank you so much. We're going to take a break. And like I said, come back. Second set. Good.